Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day two of the World Esports Championship for Hearthstone, the North American qualifier with Frodan, and that's admirable. Today, we're going to determine who's going to get the third spot for day number three and move to the top three to eventually grab those final spots for the WEC finals in the beginning of September for $62,000. My name is Frodan, and I'll be walking you through the action with That's Admirable. Nathan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a good night's rest. Got myself some water here, a ton of it, because that's all I'm going to have today for several hours. But
Awesome.
I'm excited to be here commentating on Hearthstone with you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Yesterday, I had a really fun time hanging around Dream League, which is not the one in Sweden that people are used to with the Dream League for like DreamHack, but it was the one that was held by 4Gamers and Blizzard Taiwan, and I got to check out, have a lot of fun. And I woke up a little early today just because I was really excited for day number two. We've got lots of cool names for WEC. We've got Reynad versus Amaz to start things off, which is just so hype already in itself. And the
Oh
winner of that
boy.
will play on Tides of Time. So that upper half of the lower bracket is already stacked with just the player names. Meanwhile, we still got some of these dark horses trying to continue to push out their names. We have Brad, we have Reels, and when the winner of that will end up going to play Strife Crow. And it's just, again, it's a field of killers, and we couldn't expect anything less than the best here for WEC qualifiers. And these guys really want to win badly. Every person that I'm chatting with, they're just talking about all the stuff that they did yesterday. How could they play better? How can they come back stronger? And I'm expecting high level play once more on day number two.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday how badly these players want to win, just from a personal aspect. Well, today they need to win from an actual competitive aspect. Losers today are now out of the tournament. So this is a win or die day where there's only one person that advances. So unfortunately for four people today, is it four people today?
Yeah,
Or
we have six people playing today,
six people
so
playing today. Yeah. So
five people
unfortunately
being
for five
available.
people today, they're just, I mean, they're gone and they're out of it. But that's the nature of tournaments. There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. Thankfully, in this one, there's actually two winners. But this is the match that I actually have been waiting for since DreamHack in Sweden. Is I wanted to see it so bad,
That's
Amaz versus
right.
Reynad, and we just barely missed it. But today we get our Amaz versus Reynad match. And oh boy, this is something I've been waiting for. And since then, by the way, Amaz has just been even further decorating his Hearthstone resume. We saw wins just, I mean, across the globe from Amaz so far in just the past couple of months. And this is such an important match, I think, for both of these people. Amaz, I think, kind of wants to continue to prove himself as one of the top players in the world.
Mhm.
And for Reynad, it's kind of important to be putting together wins in these tournaments now because in the last couple of them, he's been having some bad luck. At DreamHack, he put up some good numbers, but you want to put the bad luck behind you and start racking up these wins. And so this is an important match, I think, for
Sure.
both these players.
I can 100% get behind that. Let's take a look at the brackets so we can examine our journey here before we talk a little bit more about our first match. So yesterday, just kind of recap, we had four quarterfinal matches, and we also had round number two, Maz versus Firebat, where Firebat was able to take that series, and then Firebat went on to defeat Strifecrow to move on to the upper bracket finals in a pretty intense series. Speaking of intense series, Strifecrow narrowly defeated Reynad off of a crazy unleashed Timberwolf turn and was able to dig himself out of a terrible situation and get extreme value out of one of his Timberwolves that got Houndmastered. That was pretty nuts, if you ask me. Alchemix versus Reels had a little bit of a rocky start because Reels disconnected first game, but it didn't really impact the series. Alchemix ended up winning 3-1. And then Tides of Time versus Brad, where it was a little bit of a top decking war between the two guys and a reversal of roles a few times. If you don't know what I mean, go back to the VODs and watch it. And then Alchemix ended up sweeping Tides 3-0 with a Warrior deck, which is something that was quite unexpected, but props to Alchemix for being able to play well, plus getting good draws. And Tides had some bad beats as well. That's kind of the whole point of double elimination, though, because bad beats in the card games, they do happen. So there is an opportunity to climb back from the loser's bracket. Kalento did it and from the first round of the losers in the EU region. Maybe one of these guys can do it as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty big match at the end. A very impressive display, I think, from Alchemist, because he's known a lot for his aggro play, but a lot of people don't know that his control play is also top notch. He had a really strong build of Warrior. He played it really well, and like you said, kind of some bad luck from Tides, but that's bound to happen in card games, and that's why double elimination is here to help kind of shore up that issue. It's hard to run a Swiss event with only eight or so people coming into it. sort
Yeah.
of reserved for the bigger fields. But it's like, how much more, like how much more result do you see in like a Swiss field? Because all of these guys are so close in edge anyway that at the end of the day, it's like I think it could be like single elimination or double elimination or however you want to break it down. You're going to see all of these guys reaching the end of this so often that it ends up being like almost like just like a 1 in 8 shot because it's just who prepared better for this one singular event. All these guys are really good, and there's no surprise to see anyone win this event when you
In
take a
a
look at
way,
their names and look
though,
at their resumes.
yeah, that's a really good point. That they feel like the odds might be pretty good, but in a way, it might be even better than something like BlizzCon, where you spend all this time qualifying. There's 100, but you spend this time qualifying for a qualifier of 150 some people, which puts you into a bracket of 16 for the $250,000. So this, as much as this tournament does have a lot of these really powerful players, you have to also kind of respect that the fact that there's only 8 players. They feel like this is their opportunity to strike good prize money as well. And so that's why it's another incentive to do very well. A lot of these guys also can be kind of a little truthful. They're not really that respectful of the Asian metagame as much as they are for EU and NA. And with that in mind, they really want to get to Asia because if they feel like they can get to the WC finals, they're a shot to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not to be meant as any offense, but when you take a look at some of the tournaments that have happened so far, like some of the past two piece, there's been a lot of questionable deck choices and a lot of questionable plays on the side of some of the Asian players, and it's I don't really know what the influence is. It may just be because they're not taking the game as seriously. It may just be because their practice is sort of like they may be trying to keep information too secret, and what it's causing is it's causing that their play testing just to be founded in their own little group, so they're not getting a true view of how the metagame looks, and that could really be affecting things. Like if your play style conforms to just how your one play test practice partner works, it's like it's going to throw the whole thing out of whack. So I'm not too sure what it is. Again, I'm not very familiar with all the players in the Asian region, but I think that is a very huge incentive for a lot of these North American and Europe players is that it's a very large prize pool again in a field that they perceive they have a very large edge.
I couldn't agree more. So these guys really want to win, and it's really important for them to do well because it is elimination day for day number 2 at the WEC NA qualifier. We've been getting reports that there's some lag on the stream, so we're going to restart it real quick so that way you guys get a great experience for your viewing pleasure. So stay tight. We'll be